So from when you decided to launch to then when you quit your 9 to 5, how long did that take?
So I worked for Grant for 2 years, almost exactly to the month. And it was like, this is what people don't understand. Like they see the business, what I'm doing now, and they're like, oh, I wish I could do that or whatever. But it's like, I worked for Grant for 2 years, which was not easy because those were long hours. Grant's a hard guy to work for. And it was basically wake up at 5:30, do like an hour of work for the business, go to the gym, whatever, work for Grant. And on my lunch breaks, I was working. I would come home at 7, 8 o'clock and then eat dinner for 30 minutes and then work for another 3 hours and repeat for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it got to the point, I think it just...
So you were actually working on the brand for 2 years before you left your day job.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say is when I decided to leave it was in 2022. Yeah, 2022, July 2022 or 2021, whichever one it was. The business had done, I think, 1.5 million year to date. And at that point, I was like, all right, I think I could take the leap of faith. Worst case scenario, if this blows up, I could always probably go find another sales job somewhere.
Yeah. And blows up in a bad way.
Yeah, blows up
is good, but crashes. Yeah.
So, and I was like, if that happens, and I was still living with my parents, right? So I had that security. So I was like, you have to take some sort of risk to reap the reward. And I think that's what a lot of people don't do is they don't realize to get to the next level, you have to take some sort of risk. Like with this pickleball brand, I invested $250,000 of my own personal savings, which is risky, but I was confident that I was going to make the sales. And I pre-planned my marketing to really find a niche in this market. But still, $250,000 to me is a lot of money. And
I mean, it's a lot of money to most people.
That's a lot
it's a lot of money to me.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to bet on myself.
Yeah.
But I told myself, look, if I want to grow this brand to 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, you have to invest that money to take a risk because you're not going to get the inventory there fast. Like it just, you have to take the risk in order to build something great in the beginning. And I think a lot of people don't really see that. They hear people say that, but they don't actually realize like you have to take the jump to start something new.
Yep.
And that's the pretty cool part about this brand. So
I love it. And you know, when I quit my 9 to 5 and I had already a baby and obviously not living with my parents with the baby, right?
Scary.
And we were doing less than you were doing. When we left, that year we did 1.5 million for the whole year, right? We were at $100K a month for 3 months. And that's when I, quit my job.
Yeah.
I feel like you were even more, I would say, secure. I think I left too early. By the way, I think I quit my job too early because I got into a lawsuit and almost everything got destroyed. And it was like right after I left my 9 to 5, within like 4 months, we had a massive lawsuit and we almost went to zero. And then I couldn't replace that job because I was now in Florida and my job was remote in California.
That's scary.
It was crazy. So I honestly think I left too early. I would honestly recommend like probably where you're at, like, okay, 2 million plus.
Yeah.
And then you're like, good.
People say they want to like, oh yeah, I'm ready to quit my 9 to 5 right away. And I tell a lot of people like, look, stay there as long as you can, make the money from your job and put it into your business because you don't want to put yourself in a position where your back's against the wall completely. Like, yes, that's a good thing in some ways, but at the same time, you want to like watch your basis. So it's not a bad thing to take the money from your job and slowly put it into this, build it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause basically you replace, like, why not replace your lazy hours? Why not replace the hours where you're on the Netflix, when you're on the whatever, when you're on your phone, like at home doing nothing? If you replace that, why do you have to replace the time when you're working and doing something that's actually valuable?
And it's not easy. Like it's not, but like, so when I did the whole thing with Grant for 2 years, like the reason I left was I was burnt out. Yeah. I finally got to the point where I was like, I can no longer continue to do both.
Yeah.
And
happened to me too.
It was extremely stressful. Like my girlfriend's here. She could tell you I was miserable for like those last like 3 months.
Me too, dude. The last 3 months were the worst,
bro. Because
you already know this path is gonna be the long term.
Yeah, and you're mentally clocked out of the business. You just don't really know when to do it.
Tough.
And I had such a great relationship with everyone there. Yeah, like I learned so much.
Yeah, you did great, dude.
Yeah.
I put some money with you.
You did.
I think. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Undisclosed amount, but it was that's the thing that was super hard. Was it was such a great environment that I was like, coming from an athletic background and playing baseball, I felt like I was like abandoning my team. But at the same time, you have to take care of yourself. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the long term. I want to be wealthy one day. I can't be wealthy just staying at this job. So I have to take the risk, jump ship, and try to build something for myself.
Absolutely.
And knock on wood, it's working so far.
Yeah, for sure. You're in the clear. You're not in that like anyway. No one's in the clear. Anything could happen. But
Correct.
Yeah, dude, I think you're doing fantastic.
Thank you.
But people do not know and do not realize that you should be grinding on your day job plus the e-commerce until you're at least definitely at least $1 million in sales. But it should be, let's say $300K in profit, right? When you're at a good level, because that money, $300K doesn't mean $300K. $300K means now you got to pay what, $150 in taxes or $140 in taxes. And then $100K in inventory, you got $50K left.
If that.
If that.
So like this brand, right? We did $1 million in revenue. I put up $250K for the inventory to get everything going fast because I basically ordered 2 small orders in the beginning, sold out quick, and I was like, all right, it's proven. Let's put in some big orders.
Smart.
So now,
it didn't start with 250. 250 is after it was proven. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, I don't normally.
So the actual path was I created a dropshipping store, got one quick ad, put one paddle on there, made one ad. I turned it on the first day, got 5 sales. I was like, shut that down immediately. Let's order the product.
Really?
Yeah,
because it was profitable. Or
not even was profitable. I just saw like the fact that it was profitable because I spent like $50 a day. And we made 5 sales like that on Facebook, and nowadays it's really hard.
What's the AOV? Like how much? What was the price per
that
per
paddle?
sale, like
I was selling for $59.
$59.
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was crazy. It's definitely slowed down. So when I first launched the brand, we were doing like 9x ROAS. So for every $1 we were spending on ads, we were getting $9 back.
Unbelievable.
And that's kind of why I went a little crazy in the beginning because I ordered like 200 paddles, which I think was like $5,000 to $8,000, then like $10,000. And then after those sold, I was like, boom, let's go all in. And it's definitely slowed down since because I think the market's growing. The product's been out there for 6 months, so people have seen the ads a lot. But yeah,